On which intervals is the graph increasing or decreasing? First, we need to find the derivative. F prime is 6x squared plus 6x minus 72. Next, we want to set that equal to 0 and solve. Factor out the 6. And continue factoring. Two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add to 1 for negative 3. Set each factor equal to 0 and solve those. We get negative 4 and 3. These are your critical numbers. Notice those critical numbers split the number line into 3 different intervals. We're curious about what's happening on each of those intervals. So let's create a table of values. We'll have the intervals, and then each of the factors of our factored polynomial. The result of f prime, and what that tells us about f. The intervals are to the left of negative 4, between negative 4 and 3, and then to the right of 3. So looking at the factor 6, 6, no matter what interval you're on, is always going to be positive. Now let's look at x plus 4. To the left of negative 4, that factor will be negative. Between negative 4 and 3, that factor will be positive. And to the right of 3, that factor will be positive. Looking now at the factor x minus 3, to the left of negative 4, we'll get a negative. Between negative 4 and 3, we get a negative. And then to the right of 3, we get a positive. So now multiply across. Positive times a negative is a positive. Positive, positive, negative is a negative. Then multiplying all positives will result in a positive. So increasing, decreasing test. A positive derivative tells us that f is increasing on that interval. A negative derivative tells us that f is decreasing on that interval, and a positive again tells us that f is increasing on that interval.